You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he off of the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Okay, we back in here with another one. Hey, make sure you tune in tonight for the Afterglow show. You already know what it is. Monday night, 8 o'clock. Me, your boy Kofi, in the building doing an Afterglow show. Listen, my voice is a little shot because I was doing a lot of yelling over the weekend, doing some crazy stuff. But hopefully I can get through this, get some tea, come back, do the Afterglow show, and probably go on a little hiatus for a little bit. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My boy Blaine in the building. Yes, sir. All right, listen. Before I get into the word of the day, complacency. That's the word of the day is complacency. Okay. But before I get into that, just a few things, nothing. Listen, I don't like to major in the minor. Maybe I do. Maybe a little bit I do. All right. But I really don't. I would prefer not to. Okay. So I want to show you something real quick. And if anybody remember, I'm going to take you back. All right. We're going to go way back. Okay. Just, I was talking about Swag Media Day, and then people was like, oh, Scotty, he hating because he outside the club. He hating because he can't get in the club. And all I was trying to say is this is real funny that you have a partnership with ESPN, and there's nothing about ESPN. And then everybody's talking about, Scotty, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Scotty, you're lying. Oh, Scotty, you're a hater. I'm hearing all this, okay? You know what I'm saying? They over here.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I'm not lying. There is no lie in me. There is no lie in me. I don't even know what that looks like, okay? I don't even know what that looks like. I try not to be a hater all my life, right? I really don't. I try to do things the right way. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. I don't have it right now. But so when I was talking about this, everybody was like, I said, where's ESPN at? Where's the banners? Oh, Scotty, we don't do that. ESPN doesn't do that. Oh, this, that, and the third. It's real funny. Now, if you look closely, okay, they also have a banner. Okay. Okay. They also have a banner. And if you look real close, it also has their sponsorship there. It also has their sponsorship out here. So I'm just, listen, I'm not here to, well, I am here, kind of. I just want people to know, right? What you think you're doing, you're not doing. Okay? This is what it's supposed to look like when you have a sponsor. Okay? When you have a sponsor, it's supposed to look like they are sponsoring it. Okay? Sponsorships. So you see it? Well, how they do it at the eye doctor? A or B? Okay, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it one more time. A or B? Okay, it's B. Oh, okay, it's B. It's B. It's okay. I didn't know if you guys understood, but the swag has a brand. The swag has a brand. Okay. The swag has a brand. It's a super conference. You ain't know. Oh my God, it's a brand. We here for the day. We here. It's a brand. Who knows about the big? Who cares about Sacramento State? Who cares about Montana State? Who cares about Montana? Okay. Who cares about Weber? Who cares? Who cares about Portland State? Who cares about Idaho? Who cares about them? Back it up. If you don't got a wristband, you can't get in. Nobody cares about Idaho and Montana State. They have no brand. They're not the SWAC. Okay? They are not. They will never be. They can never. Who cares about Eastern Washington? Okay? Nobody cares about Idaho and Montana and Portland, Weber, okay? Nobody cares. Nobody. Because they're not black, nor do they have a brand. Okay? Just want to make that very clear. Just want to make that very clear. Nobody cares about them. They don't have a brand. Okay, they're not black. They're not a HBCU. They don't play real football up north. So I just a little few things. Just listen, man. Just a little few things that I wanted to touch on. Just a few things. And also, okay, remember, once again, the word of the day is complacency. Okay, complacency. Now, you know me, I can't start a show without a little bit of
I'm petty, 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 I'm petty.
Okay, just a little bit. So I want to talk to somebody real quick. I want to talk to the Yin Yang Lost member. Okay. I want to talk to the Yin Yang Lost member. You probably haven't noticed. You didn't know about him. You know, they keep him under wraps. All right. Ed Bishop Harper. Okay. Ed Bishop Harper. Just wanted to talk a little bit about him because, you know, it is what it is. Because people got so much to say. I don't know why people continue to use my name. But anyway, okay. So we're going to get on him. Ed Bishop, and I'll read this for you because I know a lot of you guys don't like to read. Crazy how you can call yourself covering a conference, point out everything bad about it, but without it, you will have no content. You have followers that have jumped that wagon and keep it afloat. But without the same conference, you're a non-existent. A large group of your following has disdain for one certain program, but the interview from that program's coach puts you on the map. Great sale for your pockets, but bad for conference. And then you blast that said conference, because of their dislike for the most of things you choose to cover. All right. Like I said, it sells. So do you. Heard about the alignment with Mr. Martin, but will that be enough to keep you afloat if the content stays the same? I watched to hear the foolery. Hold on, what? I watched. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. I'm sorry. I watch. Okay. I'm sorry. I keep getting stuck on that part. To hear the foolery, it's entertaining. It is entertaining. Or is it it's entertaining? Either way, okay. Don't particularly like it. Okay. Hey, it's feeding your kids so. God doesn't bless mess, so we'll see how it continues. Well, if I keep having people like you who continue to watch even though they don't like me because they don't want to.
If I make you feel some type of way, if low key you just hit a head.
I say it every time. Why don't people get the hit? You never have to. I don't get it. Nobody is forcing you to watch Little Old Me. Nobody. Nobody holds a gun to your head and says, hey, you better watch Off Script every single time he comes on. But you know why you do? And the thing is, half the paragraph is hating, then at the end, I watch. What? I watch. I watch to hear the. So you like the foolery. So it's entertaining because this is entertainment. I just do it at a level you've never seen before. You're over there pondering Yin Yang twin member. You're over there pondering Ed Bishop Harper. You're like, oh my God, how can somebody so aggravated? How can somebody so with all the buffoonery? Why can't I turn him off? That tells me I'm damn good. I don't watch anything I don't like. That's just me personally. Like, no matter how much I don't like Skip Bayless, I watch him. No matter how much I don't like Stephen A. Smith, you got to tune in. So it seems, Yin Yang Lost member, that I think I'm doing something right. I think I might be doing something right. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, listen, to each his own though. To each his own. So you can say all of this. How can you say, let me break it down even further. How can you say half of what you said and then you know what contradicts everything you said? I watch. Because earlier you said I would be non-existent. Well, how can I be non-existent if you're still watching, Yin Yang Twin member? What sense does that make? How can I be non-existent if you aren't watching? And all the other people on here that are watching that hate me. So keep hating, haters, because you always can do what?
Unfollow me. If I make you feel some type of way, unfollow me. If low key you just hit a hey,
you can unfollow me. I don't know how much. I don't know. I know. Oh my God. Man, listen. Oh, listen, give your degree back. I don't even know if you have one, but give it back. Okay? Just give it. Just give it back. He got his hands up on the knees and then his balls on the stop. I mean, come on, man. Stop it. Just give it back. Stop it. Stop it, sir. Stop it, sir. So, Ed Bishop Harper, you are the Bama of the week. And we just started. Okay? But you still the Bama of the week. Yin Yang lost member. All right? Anyway. All right, let's get into today's topic. My bad. Complacency. Okay, word of the day. Complacency. Okay. Now, if you do not know what complacency means, it says a feeling of a smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. That was deep. I'm gonna read it again. Okay, a feeling or a smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. Probably should have put that in a diagram and a slide so you guys can read it on your own. So let me say, hey, thank you, HBCU Sports Wire. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. All right. So I'm gonna play you some clips from HBCU Game Day. Shout out to them. Shout out to Tally Carr for having this interview. I'm not going to go any further than that. Just give you your congratulations because I'm not a hater. So I'm just going to say congratulations. So I'm going to play one part. We're going to discuss and then another part and then another part. And then I'm going to open the call lines up. 516-259-9041. 516-259-9041. And I don't understand if you haven't saved my call-in number.
You are the only participant in the conference.
If you haven't,
all participants are muted.
Stop it, white lady. All right. If you haven't saved my number in your, what are we doing? Okay, you gotta keep me on speed dial. Just a bloop, bloop, bloop. All right, let's get into it.
Especially when you take a look at the brotherhood that you have seemingly formed with the rest of the SWAC coaches. What has that meant to you personally?
Well, I know they was a little standoffish. They were a little salty when we first come because I was getting all the attention and they didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
How can this guy get attention? He ain't coached a snap. But then they start to understand that, hey, man, he's down for us. Mm-hmm. He's trying to pick us up and put us out there and put a light on us. I think they were a little tentative at first and not understanding that same light that shows you, causes you to shine, gonna show your blemishes as well. Mm-hmm. And I just sat back and watched. And I've attained some wonderful relationships, man, with some of the SWAC coaches, and these guys can coach.
Yeah.
I just want them to think outside the box. What is the goal? Is this where you want to be for the rest of your life? Ain't nothing wrong with that if that's it. But usually when you're really good at what you do, there's promotion. And I just want to make sure they're thinking about elevation and promotion because they're that good. I mean, they're that darn good.
Okay, I'll say this. Okay, I'll say this. When I first heard Deion say what he said, and I'm gonna play it black a little bit.
The SWAC coaches and these guys can coach.
Yeah.
I just want them to think outside the box. What is the goal? Is this where you want to be for the rest of your life? Ain't nothing wrong with that if that's it. But usually when you're really good at what you do, there's promotion. And I just want to make sure they're thinking about elevation and promotion because they're that good. I mean, they're that darn good.
Okay. I was very conflicted on this point because at one token, on one aspect of it, and Black Pally, you're absolutely right. I love the sofa look. It was dope. It was a nice vibe. I definitely thought that was pretty dope. All right. On one aspect, we all get it. We all listen. Nobody wants to be stagnant. Okay. Nobody wants to be stagnant at what they do. You want to grow. You want to aspire for bigger things. And then on the same aspect, I feel like just a little bit. It was kind of a shot, just a little bit of, is this where you want to be? Is this where you want to stay? I think that, because if we're being honest, if it wasn't for Jackson State, would Deion have even gotten the chance to be a head coach? You know what I'm saying? But I have to 100% agree with him that how good, this is going to sound really bad. How good are you if you've never, and see, okay. Oh, let me retract that. I challenge the people who say this, right? Because they say this, validation doesn't come from doing white things, right? Being a part of a PWI should not evaluate you as being a good coach or a great coach. So then I challenge them then to say that what Deion is saying is wrong. I like what Deion is saying right here. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like it. But for everybody who says that white validation shouldn't matter, then that also includes expiring up to better, because there is no head coaching, there is no black HBCU at a FBS level. There is no black institution at a at a Georgia, or there. If you're going up another level, 9 times out of 10 it's not to another HBCU. So do you say what Deion is saying is it wrong because he says you get validation of being good or great going to another level, or can you just be great where you're at? Buddy Pugh is a great example. He has established a perennial team that consistently sends players to the NFL. He has won championships. He's done all that, but does he get the respect he deserves? Probably not. Probably not. Most likely he does not. Does that make him a less coach, or does that still make him a great coach? You see what I'm saying? It's no different. To me, I see it as no different as players jumping into the portal to try to go pro because they say, well, I need better tape, or I need better competition. Is that not the same for a coach? I'm asking, and like I said, in my personal opinion, I agree with Deion. I wholeheartedly do. I think there's a lot of variables that Deion does not also touch on that most black, great head coaches, when they move up, they become positional coaches. That you have to put in a lot of due diligence, play a lot of politics to even become a black head coach at a prestigious program or a top PWI. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's I would like to hear people's opinions on that. 516-259-9041, 516-259-9041. There's more parts to play in this thing that I think it gets a little deeper. But listen, like I said, I like where Deion is coming from on this aspect. I do think that if you're that good, you should aspire to go outside your neighborhood. You should go out there and try to find another job or whatever. But I also think that if you're looking at it from the HBCU community and it turns around in itself and they look at themselves, they will tell you, well, why does our head coach have to leave us, or why does a great head coach have to leave us to prove that he's great? Why is it that when we get something good or get something great, it can't just stay here and still be considered great? It has to leave and get validated by a white institution or a white school. So those are just the aspects I think that you have to see from both sides. But there is a part of what Deion is saying that does have some truth to it. But I also think that he lacked there's a lot of variables that goes to that story to make it a 100% truthful statement, but there's validation in what he's saying. So I just thought that was one half. Scotty, does it apply to you and your move as well, respectfully? Oh, listen, I will be 100% with you, V. I wouldn't even have gone to the SEC Media Day if the SWAC would have let me in, because I would have seen no need. I would have seen no need to try to, like, I did the let me be 100%. I'm gonna be a whole transparent with you. I wouldn't even have gone to SEC Media Day. I wouldn't even have gone to SEC Media Day if the SWAC denied me. I wouldn't even have gone because I wouldn't even have thought about going to SEC Media Day. All I really wanted to do was SWAC and maybe the MEAC, but that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So the only reason I turned to the SEC is because they opened me up. They allowed me to go. And then with the opportunity, I showed what I could do. You see what I'm saying? So it really wasn't even my first option. It was actually my second option. And if people did not, and shout out to everybody who called me, everybody who texted me, everybody who messaged me saying, Scotty, take the opportunity. Because if it wasn't for them pushing me, I wouldn't even have gone to SEC Media Day and did what I did. But I got to show what I could do. You see what I'm saying? So I think I do agree with you, Veronica. There is some part to what you're saying that it affected me to where it's like, you know, I had to get validated by the SEC media just to turn it back around and go back to where I wanted to go and be like, yo, y'all still playing these games? Y'all still playing these games? Okay, cool. I guess I got to keep playing this part. You know what I'm saying? So I think I just think that because even what you're saying, V, is like, you know, people telling me I'm not media, hashtag not media. So I had to go to SEC Media Day, ask questions, go viral in Black Twitter, just to get the validation of he's media. Just to add it to, you know what I'm saying? Just to add it. Ooh, that's what I'm saying. These other coaches are rejecting the vision that Coach Sanders has for the SWAC, and that's the disconnect. To a certain extent, I agree. To a very certain extent, I agree. I think, and I spoke to somebody that said a lot of coaches are against social media. They would ask them, hey, you know, what is your plan on social media? They say, no, I don't do that. Well, you can't live in that bubble anymore. You cannot live in that bubble anymore. And I keep telling people, you don't have to be Deion to be effective. To be effective on social media. You just have to have a presence. All right. You just have to be a way to reach kids on social media, or let them see your program, or let them see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be Deion. You don't have to have a soliloquy every morning, or you don't have to be on, you know, the thing every day. You don't have to do that, but you have to have a presence on social media. Let me get to Dre. Hey, Dre, coming to you.
Hey, man. I think, and I've said this before, I always think it's good to go outside your boundaries. I was watching Media Day, and I heard Eric Duke say he's been in the SWAC 30 years, and he's had opportunities to coach outside the conference. I think that's a disservice, because you need to see how it was done other places. Not saying it's the best or it's better, but you need to see another way of doing it. So the best coaches in the SWAC may do it different than the best coaches at Sunbelt or Southland or SEC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I think you always have to sit there, and it's almost like, you know, how a lot of people, they go to undergrad for HBCU, but then they go to a PWI for grad school. There's no difference. So, I think, so, I mean, no matter what nobody says, the SEC is the best, you know, according to camp championships, according to money. So no matter whether you like it or not, or whether you like the way the SEC does things, they are the best. And you would be a fool not to take what you can from it, because they are the best. They are doing something right. So I think that's the one thing where HBCUs, we sit there, I said all the time, we go from one HBCU to another. You know, we may go from Southern to Prairie View to Valley, a Valley to Bethune, where if, you know, let's say Louisiana Tech offered you the OC job, you ain't. I think you owe yourself to at least learn all that you can.
Yeah, give
and
it a
learn
shot.
from somebody from there, seeing how they do things, and not saying you have to be at a PWR all your life, but you could bring that back. You may be like, you know what? I'll do 2 years there, 3 years there, learn what I need to learn, and you know what? I could bring that back to FAMU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where, because I heard somebody say A. Robinson had multiple times to go to NFL, and later he kind of regretted because it would have opened so many doors if he would have, because he was sending so many people to the league at that time. You couldn't deny it. You see what I'm getting at?
Absolutely.
So I think the coaches need to think about that when they're sitting up there, and you know, you just want to learn all you can, and you can't learn everything in your box. And that's just not impossible.
No, I agree. I definitely agree, Dre. And I think that, you know, I think there are certain opportunities that you should just take because listen, man, I feel like, and people might get mad at me, if I'm an Eric Dooley, right, my status within HBCU arena is always going to be solidified. He could go to
always come back.
He could always come back. Thank you. He could go to La Tech. He could go to UT. He could go to Cincinnati. He could go to any of these PWIs. Do well, do bad. He's still good. He's good. His credit score in HBCU land is always going to be 700 and above. It's just that.
You're right.
He's just that deep. He's just that real.
And the thing is, he played at a blue blood and coached at a blue blood.
Yeah.
So you know he played at Grambling and coached at Southern. He is a made man in HBCU.
Absolutely.
So even if he went and coached at La Tech for 10 years, and he like, you know what, I want to come back to Southern. But man, Southern might fire who they got to bring him back. He like, hey.
I agree.
So, but you learn so much and everything, and you learn because I mean, as most HBCUs do the same things, especially when you're in the same conference.
Absolutely. You
know, being in the same conference is like being in the country. They all do the same things for the most part. They've also, you know, I would tell any assistant coach if you get the opportunity to, because it's learning. You know, why you think so many people, you know, go to Nick Saban? Because you learn so much. I mean, he's Nick Saban, but they take pay cuts to go to Nick Saban.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a disservice if you don't go outside your box and learn. That's not, you know, that's just not smart for your craft.
You know, I think it's for it's different. He's gonna say different strokes for different folks, but I do think that's something that everybody should try if you have the opportunity and the possibility. But hey, appreciate the call though, Dre. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Appreciate it.
All right. I'm gonna go into part 2. All right, going to go to part 2. Let's get it, Deion.
Schwack and Miak hadn't married.
Coach, you talked, I think it was last weekend, you had an interview on ESPN. You talked about there are conversations because everybody's talking about, you know, conferences consolidating and growth and all this movement.
They talking about money, man. They ain't talking about conferences consolidating. They talking about who's going to get this if they go where. That's all that is. When you see somebody move anywhere in life, it's about what?
Money.
There you go. I don't leave this job to go to that job if money ain't involved, all right? Because I'm good. But if money's involved, I could be great. So that's what all those talks about moving up. And we would be remiss if we did. Now, let me tell you something. This conference is unbelievable. It's very competitive, and it's a great conference. I love what we're doing. But I'm not one not to look forward. Everything about me is protruding forward. My feet and every darn thing. So I got to look ahead. That's just how I'm built. So I have to think about the possibilities.
What do you think those possibilities are?
First of all, we got to dominate. We got to go back to that. We got to dominate. And there are going to be tremendous possibilities. And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but let's keep the main thing the main thing. But I would be crazy. See, the thing about when you start talking about that, people talking about leaving the SWAC, ain't nobody thinking about that right now. That's not my thought. My thought is, how do I improve this university and make sure financially we're where we need to be?
Man, that sounds real similar. That sounds real similar to a young man on YouTube that says you need to cultivate your own ground before you think about moving somewhere. I don't know who that young man is. I haven't seen him in a while. He does his stuff every periodically, but it just sounded real familiar. It just sounded real familiar. So anybody out there talking about some moving up to FBS, talking about some moving this and moving that, you can't. Final part. I'm a replay what Deion said, and then we're gonna move on to the final act.
But I would be crazy. See, the thing about when you start talking about that, people talking about leaving the SWAC, ain't nobody thinking about that right now. That's not my thought. My thought is, how do I improve this university and make sure financially we're where we need to be? That's my thought. How do we do that business-wise? How do we change the business practices? How do we elevate to another level where the profit share of the SWAC is even greater, the television revenue is even greater, that we have a system now that the attendance, the parking, the concessions are all adequate and profound, and we get real numbers. That's my thought process, that we really do business.
Is the HBCU infrastructure?
No, we're way behind. You know that. Before you asked that question, you knew the answer.
This I want to be very clear. I need listen, and I love Deion. Okay, I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Like growing up, Deion was everything to me. I need y'all to have the same energy that you have to me when I say the same stuff. I just want the same energy. I want the same disdainment. I want the same problems that I get on a everyday basis. Because if my name was Deion Sanders, all you Bamas will be worshiping my shoes right now. I have been saying this from day one. You're not, listen, it's a mindset. It is a mindset. Why can't y'all Bamas keep money? Because you got Bamas doing the wrong thing with it. It didn't matter. It don't matter how much money I give you. If you got the little bit of money and you scheming, if you got the little bit of money that you already messing up, how am I supposed to give you? Why would I give you more money just to F up more money? Come on, man. Like, what sense does that make? Like Charles, like Deion said, Charles, you knew the answer before you asked me. You know we ain't got no infrastructure. You know it. We all know it. But I'm telling you, let me get my because he starts preaching. Let me tell you, Deion starts preaching on this thing. Past the collection plates, I'm going to rewind it a little bit, but I promise you, Deion starts dropping real gems when he starts going into this factor. I'm going to back it up a little bit for y'all Bamas, but yeah.
The attendance, the parking, the concessions are all adequate and profound, and we get real numbers. That's my thought process, that we really do business.
Is the HBCU infrastructure?
No, we're way behind. You know that. Before you asked that question, you knew the answer. You just set me up to hit the thing. I appreciate that.
Let me find the organ over here. Let's tap that organ.
Yeah, you know that. You know darn well we ain't right. We ain't tight and we ain't right.
Hey, if anybody fixes the parking at the vet, I will sing at their wedding.
See?
Let me stop it right there. Because I want y'all. It's, my homeboy Blaine tells me this all the time. He said it's the little things. You got to watch the little things, right? Because everybody's going to be like, Scotty, you taking this too far, or you're not taking this seriously, or you taking this too seriously. But I want you to watch how Deion responds and how Charles and Tali Carr respond. That lets you know we on two different frequencies. You not in the same boat. You not thinking the same way I'm thinking. Because while they kikiing and cacaing, Deion is getting upset. He's getting upset because he understands that it is a problem. It's a problem that's been before me, and it shouldn't, and it's probably going to continue if I don't ever change it. I'm gonna rewind it, and when I saw this, I was like, "Ooh, this is like I'm 2 steps ahead of you, and you not even you think it's a game, but I'm serious right now." I want y'all to watch what the question.
Let me find the organ.
Profound, and we get real numbers. That's my thought process, that we really do business.
Is the HBCU infrastructure?
No, we're way behind. You know that. Before you asked that question, you knew the answer. You just set me up to hit the thing. I appreciate that.
Let me find the organ over here. Let's tap that organ.
Yeah, you know that. You know darn well we ain't right. We ain't tight and we ain't right.
Hey, if anybody fixes the parking at the vet, I will sing at their wedding.
Tolly made it as a joke. Charles Bishop is laughing, and look how Deion responds to it.
See, that's we're missing 10 to 15,000 fans that don't even come because they don't want to deal with the parking. And then when they get out the car, you got to go through one gate. How is that possible?
If anybody's been watching me, if I got some day ones on here, you know I said the same exact thing when I went to the vet. When I went to the Alcorn game, I said, how in the hell you got all these fans and they come through one gate? How? How does that even make sense? You brag about 50 to 60,000 people in a stadium and you can get these Bamas through one gate. Huh? Now, I didn't know much about the parking situation at the vet. I didn't know much about that. I ain't even gonna lie to you and say like I talked about it. But I damn sure talked about the line, and I damn sure talked about the tickets. But we will continue.
10 to 15,000 fans that don't even come because they don't want to deal with the parking. And then when they get out the car, you got to go through one gate. How is that possible at a football stadium, that one gate? Like, those are the minute things that burn me up because I've seen it at its highest level. And it's hard for me to accept mediocrity when I've seen excellence.
How hard is
You missed that. You missed it. You missed. Listen, a lot of HBCU fans are going to be, they're going to cry, they're going to bitch, they're going to moan. But listen to what Deion says. It's hard to accept mediocrity when you've seen excellence. It's hard to accept mediocrity when you've seen excellence.
Seen it at its highest level. It is hard for me to accept mediocrity when I've seen excellence.
How hard is it to change expectations of people when they're accustomed to something being a certain way?
I don't think they have expectations.
Listen, he is putting Bamas on Front Street. Listen, oh my God, like this. Listen, you know how when you be in church and people say the spirit be stirred up, and they be like, "Oh," I just feel like when he was talking, I was like, "Oh," I'm like, he's hitting people across the head. He said they don't have expectations. You don't have We have expectations. You don't. Y'all missing.
How hard is it to change expectations of people when they're accustomed to something being a certain way?
I don't think they have expectations. We have expectations. They have complacency. That's the difference. You're complacent. It's been like this forever. We don't need to fix it. I'm cool.
How many I've heard? Listen, Deion is mother preaching today. He is mother preaching on y'all Bamas today. How many times have I said, you know what? I've heard this so much. Oh, Scotty, this is just how we do it. Oh, Scotty, this is how it's been. Oh, this is just how it's been. This is how. Oh, this is what we do. This is how we do it at HBCU. I'm like, it don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. Zero. But you, this is how we do it, Scotty. This is how we do it. Y'all love that word. So the word of the day, I feel like Pops from Friday. The word for the day is job. J-O-B. The word for today is complacency. Okay? Complacency. Thank you, John Holmes. And mix with a little bit of accountability. All right? All right, but I want you to watch how Deion brings it home, okay? Because you know he played baseball, so he slid on into that thing nice and pretty like. Watch how he brings it all home. I'm going to back it up for you just so you can get the whole essence.
Because I've seen it at its highest level. It is hard for me to accept mediocrity when I've seen excellence.
How hard is it to change expectations of people when they're accustomed to something being a certain way?
I don't think they have expectations. We have expectations. They have complacency. That's the difference. You're complacent. It's been like this forever. We don't need to fix it. I'm cool. I live in a land of more than enough. I want to keep more than enough. I want you to have more than enough, greater. I don't want to just have just enough. Some people are happy with that. That's not me. I'm not built like that.
Can we ferret out the complacency?
You got to fire the complacency.
You see how Charles is thinking? He didn't say, y'all missing it. I feel like I passed that church. You're not hearing me today. Y'all not hearing me today. I'm in here by myself. Y'all not hearing it. You see what Charles asked? Can we fair the complacency? He didn't ask real Bamas who want change. You know what they would have asked? How do we get rid of complacency? How do we get rid of complacency? He said, how do we fare with complaint? You know what that means? If you don't know that, how do we manage it? How do we get through it? How do we get through this? How do we kind of snivel through it so where we don't hurt nobody's feelings? And you know what Deion says? Deion says, bump all that. Bump the moving through. Bump not stepping on nobody's toes. Fire them Bamas.
Greater. I don't want to just have just enough. Some people are happy with that. That's not me. I'm not built like that.
Can we ferret out the complacency?
You got to fire the complacency. It ain't no talking about complacency.
Sure.
You got to fire the complacency.
Understood.
Ain't no talking about it. What Rick Ross say? There ain't no walking around me. There are no talking about. Lot of drug dealing around me going down in Dade County. There ain't no talking about it. There ain't no walking about it. You fire them Bamas. Fire them. Get rid of them. You don't want to get on board? You're out of here. You don't want to get on board. You don't want to progress. You want to stay where you at? That's cool. You out of here. Stay where you at. Stay your ass at home. How about I do a stop loss on your check? How about that for complacency? Like, listen, man, if that doesn't, I don't understand. Like, if that doesn't fire your spirit up, if that doesn't get you like ready to like let's do better. Let's get better. What do I gotta do? Now, that speech right there, if I was an alumni, I'm donating money. No lies, no games, no joke. If I would have seen that on a promotion, I want to donate to that. Fire him, Deion. How much money I gotta give you to fire him? How much money I gotta pay you to fire all these Bamas who don't want to work? We up and listen, we going Obama 2008 up in this Bama. Change. I don't know. Listen. I'm straight Nino Brown. Cancel that. Cancel this. Cancel that. Cancel that girl. Cancel that guy. Cancel him. You know what I'm saying? Cancel. Make change out that $5 ass. We out here. We working. No. Cancel that. Cancel him. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Cancel that. Well, shoot. What's up, JB? Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty? Bro, you must have been reading my mind right about now when I'm watching this. I tuned in about 10 minutes ago. I'm watching this, and it's like, dope. If you recall on your show a few weeks ago, I think you did the one about Prairie View, I said the exact same thing about infrastructure and accountability. Scotty, we've been talking about this stuff for months, but people act like we're speaking a foreign language or something like that, which is really kind of hilarious. I also find it kind of funny too, that, like I said this earlier, Deion says the exact same thing myself, you, Blue, BJ Jones, other folks been saying, and it's like, oh yeah, we got to rally behind this guy, we got to rally behind this guy and whatnot. I don't think our fans really understand what progress and changes and stuff means.
Yeah.
Because we had said it earlier just now. Deion's talking about firing against the complacency and stuff like that. And then, of course, the question that the guy raised about how do you manage it, that tells me he's trying to protect the system. That tells me he's trying to protect someone who, I don't know, you could be his friend or his frat brother or whatever, who has a job on this place that shouldn't be in there, or family member who shouldn't be there in the first damn place.
Yeah.
That's all that says. And then the other thing we mentioned as well, because one thing I spoke on the show also about seeing how the rest of the FCS works. Once again, for folks who actually go to other games besides our schools, you see how the rest of the FCS, they do things. And stuff like this is part of it. But when you mention what other people do, they say, man, why are you trying to be like white folks? Why are we trying to be like the white man's ISIS code? I said, no, we're trying to see how other people do things.
Facts.
So if we're really going to, I'm sorry, and then because people talk about tradition. There was a comment that someone gave earlier in here. I forgot what it was. I think it was something that Champ D1012 said, talking about, what did he say? Oh, here it is. Complacency is maxed in tradition. Translation, they don't want to do anything about it because it's uncomfortable or because one of their people could get fixed. That's the issue that we're having with this stuff right now. I'm glad Deion's calling it out. I'm glad that he's making people actually have to look in the mirror and stuff like this. Now the question becomes, for these same primates that are talking about, you know, let's do about change, do about change, are y'all really prepared to what that really actually means and what that is being asked for? If you're not, then keep doing the same thing you've been doing and wonder why folks don't come. Because I talk about this all the time too. Him being here at Jackson State is great for Jackson State and great for the SWAC as well. We get the attention, we get the livelihood and everything else. But if the systems are not being implemented while he's here, say about 5 to 10 years after his next phase, whatever, and you're still doing the same thing that you're doing right now, all this was just a fad.
Facts. Absolutely. Hey, appreciate the call though, JB.
No problem, bro.
Hi, man. Listen, I gotta rock with JB on this one. If there's any guy that can take the bullets to make monumental change in how things are processed and perceived on an HBCU campus, is Deion, right? If Deion can implement something that makes other schools go, oh shoot, we never thought about that. That is huge. That is huge. And I don't know. Listen, guys, I'm going to be 100% and Smash. I'm going to go to you, and then I'm going to go to you, Rocky, because I know you're a member, right? So I'm going to do this. If I don't know how, if you lock everything down, I know Mr. Campbell put that in the comment, if he locks it all down. I don't know what that looks like, right? I don't know what they're charging for tailgate spots. I don't understand any of that, right? All I know is this, is that you need to get paid from all the Bamas who do not go to the game. If you are on Jackson State Memorial Vet property, you have to pay. I don't give a damn what it looks like. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it makes it look like. I don't go, because like you're missing out on a lot of money. Bama's just walking up, kicking it at the tailgates and dipping. All right. Just dipping. Like I said, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that ever goes down, but for real, you're losing out on money. Smash, I'm coming to you. Hey, Smash, you live.
Hey, I want to touch on a few things, Scotty. Look, in that interview, I'm knowing, just me guessing, I'm knowing, before interview, you kind of prep somebody. I was going to talk about this. Anything you wanted to touch on?
Mm-hmm.
They was asking them softball, butterball questions, and Deion was smacking their ass with answers they wouldn't even expect it for. They wanted them. They wanted them ha ass answer to like, I know he's gonna kill this answer. You know he was gonna yam that bitch though. You know he's gonna knock that bitch way out the park. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't, because you can see the expression on their face. He's literally telling McCullough how to do his job, and McCullough ain't taking no notes. None. He's not taking no. He's not taking. When he say fire, look at his face, bro. When he say you gotta fire him, he can say, No, we talking about you in this SWAC office too. You, look at you. And I hate to say this, but why was McCullough only sitting on the sofa with Deion and not the rest of the SWAT coach? Let's talk about that. That's part of the change we're talking about. That's that change we're talking about. You meet riding Deion and so much. Deion don't need you to sit on the sofa with him and ask him questions. But there are a lot of great coaches, and that be the disrespect that we be talking about. And the people that you be talking about trying to be stagnant in their ways, Scotty, why you ain't sitting on the sofa with all the rest of the coaches? That would be a fire experience to look at our commissioner actually cares about everybody but Deion. You know what I'm saying? But no, you want the camera time just as much as everybody else. Then Deion, Scotty, you did touch on a few of them things. When you were talking about the concession stand line, how you say you don't watch the halftime show, why the line so long? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And the crazy part about this the problem that they have at the vet with Jackson. Every school ain't ran like this. So this for a football game wise, game management. I know like Alabama State got some good game management. Us at Southern, we have good management, but they have changed and they be going everywhere else. But Deion was smacking their ass with them fucking answers, and they was not ready. Their facial expressions definitely could be a meme. Go look at that shit. Go look at it. But all right, Scott, I'm going, man.
No problem, Smash. Appreciate it. All right. If you a member, make sure you put your last 4 in the chat so I know that you can skip the line. I'm coming to you, Rock. Hey, Rock, you live.
Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, man, I really want to be serious, Scotty, but I got to say this before we get into it. This is why your goddamn ass can't go to the SWAC goddamn press conference right here. This is the very reason why your ass don't get invited to the tailgate, the cookout, all the SWAC stuff, all the SWAC barbecue, all that. That's why you don't get invited. This is why right here. This is why.
Oh, man.
You that drunk uncle that's gonna tell all the family secrets as soon as you get in front of company.
Yo, my girl calls me Mike from Why Did I Get Married all the time. She's like, I can't tell you.
You gonna tell Tata that Jamal not her daddy, not her real daddy, and all that kind of stuff. You gonna tell it all.
Oh man,
you know.
That ain't no lie. If I get mad, when I get mad, it's when I get mad.
Well, here's the thing, Scotty, man, and I though I have a daughter that goes to Prairie View on the dean's list, both semesters I might add. I'm not a SWAC alumni. I didn't go to HBCU, and anything that I may say as a recommendation often gets confronted with, who is your school? And that's part of the problem in the SWAC culture that's permeated from the top all the way down. They can tell you where McClellan went to school, what SWAC school he went to, who his friends were, what fraternity is part of, but you ain't got not one credential where he did ever made a dime doing anything like this. So you look at the, and y'all go do your research. You look at the SEC commissioner. You look at the commissioner of the Pac-10 and the Pac-12, right?
Yeah.
Those guys right there, they have a history of generating revenue outside of the platforms they currently sit in, because that's what's needed in that position. They don't want them to do what's always been done when they come in to get those jobs. They want them to do something innovative, something different. They want to create new revenue streams. They want to go into different markets.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Those are the things that they want those commissioners to do. And in my opinion, when you talk about whether it's the AD position, whether it's the president position, or the the coach. They want something similar to what's always been done. And what happens is you always gonna get what you always been getting, which is bottom of the barrel, scraps, and just enough. And I don't know why the people that's in the culture don't see that. Or are they offended by the notion that what they've been doing just far is not adequate or enough? I don't know why they're offended by people from the outside having an honest critique of how business is being done, how football is being played in the SWAC or in HBCU culture. I don't know why they don't want to take an honest critique of it. Because at the end of the day, even me, somebody who did not graduate from a HBCU, who really doesn't have a direct affiliation with a SWAC school or anything, even I know what good football look like. Even I know what good entertainment looks like. I know what a good game day experience looks like. I don't have to be a Jackson State alumni to know whether or not I should have to wait in line 25 minutes to get in the game, or should I be able to walk through a gate and get scanned in and go to my seat. I shouldn't have to be an HBCU graduate in order to do that.
Facts.
And they discount any critique of that experience if we're not part of that school. Can somebody call up in here and tell me why people in HBCU culture, right, are not welcoming of ideas that are outside their community or their culture? Why they have to do it the way they've always done it, and then complain about how it's being done. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out, man. You're doing a great job, Scotty, man. You know, I think you part of the change, and I also think that if the SWAC media infrastructure, if they even have one, if they knew what they were doing, they would bring you in to provide some honest kind of commentary about what's going on with SWAC sports, rather than this all this old. Man, it's just another version of the good old boy system, just colored in black. My name is Rock, and I'm out.
Hey, appreciate Rock. Hey, let me say something about what Rock said, right? Because somebody told me somebody said this to me. They said, Scotty, the reason they don't like to go outside the box to hire ADs and presidents, because if I got a good thing going, to where I'm getting tickets and I'm getting passes and I'm getting free rooms and I'm getting money deals over here and I'm getting side deals over here, well, I don't want somebody new to come in and tell me something that, that I'm doing wrong. I don't want that to happen. I don't want somebody to come in and tell me what's wrong or what's going on. So that's one of the reasons I heard somebody tell me. All right, I'm trying to find members. Dre, I'm coming to you. And David, you're next. I think 8945. I know you're a member. That's David. 7909. I don't know if you're a member, but if you're a member, let me put your last four in the comments and I'll get to you. I promise. Dre. Hey, keep your comments short. I got over 8 people on the call lines. Keep your comments short and precise. All right. Hey, what's up, Dre? You live. 0284 Dre, you live.
Hey, what's up? And man, you hit it right on the head. When you fire folks, you probably firing folks that probably are family, been in that position 10 to 12 years. So, that's wholesale changes. I even like the fact that he called out the administrators.
Yeah.
He called out the governor. But only him could do that because he has the clout, he's bulletproof, he don't need the money and everything. So, I think it takes a lot of guts to bring somebody outside. We brought in an AD from that went to Lamar. I'm sure it was uncomfortable for him to be at a HBCU. It's a white AD. But I'm sure it was uncomfortable for us, but seeing what he's done, clearly we made the right choice. So you can't always, to me, you have to make the right choice regardless. Not the right HBCU choice. Bring the best person in for the job regardless, because you get what you pay for.
No, I agree. But this is my thing with that, bring the best person in, right? If I only interview the people that I like, I technically, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like if I only,
but that's not the best.
Go ahead.
But that's not the best person.
Technically, it is because wait a minute. if I as a president only bring in interview the people that I like, well, I'm gonna just pick the best person out of who I like. You know, like, so
Yeah, but
technically it is the best person.
But every other school has a search firm, but you got to be willing to really bring. A search firm is going to go outside your box. A search firm, you may have 3 people, but a search firm, no 3 people not even make the top 5. So if Scotty got 3 people that he really liked, that his boys, that search firm, if Scotty hires a search firm, the 3 people that Scotty like may not even make that. And that's going to put something to Scotty's ego, be like, I really don't like what that search firm got to say. But you got to be willing to go outside that.
Got you.
So, and most of them aren't.
That's fair. Hey, appreciate the call. Let's see. Hey, Veronica, you're not calling the right number. You're on you didn't call the right number because I don't see your last 4. The call line number is 516-259-9041. This is a text only number. Nobody call this number. Okay, this is text only. The number below is the call in number. So let me help y'all out because I know a lot of y'all messing up. All right. This is the call line number, 516-259-9041, 516-259-9041. I'm going to take David. Remember, get to the point. Hit your, like land your plane quick and fast and early. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What up, Scotty, man? Basically, you hit the nail on the head what he's saying about complacency. It's just like basically you being in a job. I don't want to keep having the same people do the same shit over and over again, and you keep getting the same results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you keep getting the same results, it gets stagnant. And the reason why I feel like people, they want to keep it the way they want to keep it because they don't want to offend nobody. I don't care, being in management and stuff like that, you ain't supposed to care about offending nobody. You're supposed to care about the results that you're supposed to get, regardless of who your friends, who your buddy is, and stuff like that. So they just need to stop being, to me, they just need to stop being scary. Stop being scary. Start thinking outside the box and do what you have to do in order for you to get this conference to the way that it should be, instead of it being, like I said, being complacent. But that's all I gotta say, bro.
Hey, no problem, David. Appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Hill, coming to you. Hey, you live, Miss Hill. You live.
Oh, yeah. Scotty.
What's up, Miss Hill? Talk to me.
On?
What's good?
I called on behalf of Deion Sanders Baptist Church. I am the proud secretary, and I would like to recount the minutes of today's session.
Something's wrong with you. Go ahead.
As I was saying earlier in my comments, it's hard. One man can accomplish a lot of things, but just imagine if all the SWAC coaches came together collectively and brought all of their different ideas, views, viewpoints, connections, relationships to the table with what Deion is trying to do for the SWAC, because all of his ideas might not work. But at least he's tried.
Yes, ma'am.
So if they came collectively to the table and said, hey, we've tried this before over here and it didn't work, but you can try it over there. Let's see what collectively can work across the board for everybody, and then branch off to see what individually works for each school, because everybody's mind and viewpoint is not the same.
Absolutely.
But if they're going to put him out there to be the forefront of the person, you can't complain about what's going on now. It ain't going to work like that. If you want him to be on the front line to speak about all the things that need to be done, where are you?
That's
it's
real.
Take more than just him.
I agree, because I feel like they're using, you can go both ways with it. You can say, let Deion do all the talking, or you can say, hey, let Deion get out there and let him take all the bullets. So if it doesn't work, it falls on Deion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In those situations.
Like that's what they're doing, and that's not fair. the SWAT can be so much better if they just come and work with him. The only time we should be competing at this point is on the field. We should not be competing anywhere else in this whole deal but on the field. My second point that I wanted to make, and I'm going to let you take the new caller. Just like a presidential election, it takes a new president at least a year or two to undo what the current people have done, administration has done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is going on right now. It takes a lot of investigation. It takes a lot of moving parts and pieces before you can even start to accomplish what you are set out to do as the new administrator. And so that's what the time they have to give Deion, the AD, and the new staff members time to get these moving parts going before you can truly see any dominant changes with the program. And so that's the point that everybody needs to understand. We're working in corporate banking. You got a lot of high-powered people that's been in positions that are content for the very reasons why you're saying, because there's a lot of corrupt things going on. When there's corruption, nobody wants anything to change. Why? Because when investigations start happening and you start asking the tough questions like Deion is now asking, people are going to back away from it and shy away from the change. So you have to be patient with the process. So that's all I had to say about it. Appreciate your show.
No problem,
Miss.
No problem, Miss Hill. Thank you so much. And make sure while she was doing her talking that she had another secretary counting her minutes as well. All right. Next up, 3483. Then I'm gonna go 3454. I'm going to use Sergeant after this caller. Okay. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Scotty.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Chris, calling from Columbia.
Talk to me.
I'm calling in regards to what you were talking about was with Jackson State. And the crazy thing, I thought it was only happening in our school, but it happens in the MEAC. We had that same problem at South Carolina State. Concessions, parking, just the whole overall appeal. And I see this as a running problem with most of the HBCUs and the SWAC and the MEAC. They don't want to change. You have a lot of people in place who shouldn't be in the places they are. And they are cutting side deals. I mean, you have people who their whole spots for parking, people they give tickets to curry favors. There's all kind of little nepotism things that's been going on for years. It makes it impossible for them to change. And to me, as an alumni, it makes it hard when you get engaged or you become engaged in the university and you've seen how different. Hell, you've seen how white schools operate. You've seen some mid-major schools operate different. Yeah, I've seen high schools operate different. And you get back to your place you call home, man.
This is how they want it.
Doesn't work like
and this is how they want it. This is how they run it. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And when Coach Sanders said something, I watched in one of the interviews. He said, "It's a problem that I got to fight on the outside, but then I got to fight inside my house too." Eventually, you get tired. You get tired. I got to come and fight the people inside the house that I'm trying to build, and you want exodus. I've never seen it. You know, we have the same problem in South Carolina State, man. You're not capitalizing on anything as far as parking and whatever. We still locked into this game zone, and the game zone was designed years ago to equate for attendance for the playoffs. And even when we were going to the playoffs, we still had to travel, regardless of the attendance or whatever. It's just the way they slotted it. But now that you don't have the game zone, they're not even willing to think outside of the box of getting rid of the game zone. And every spot on that university campus should be a paid parking spot, not you just park where you want up until the game zone. So I understand, but when I heard Jackson State, you can get in I guess it's the Met or the Vet.
Yeah.
You just get in where you fit in. I'm like, well, damn, y'all ain't no different than us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, right? I think it should be, and I don't know how it works or whatever, but there has to be, and I don't know if you have to pay for parking at the Vet. I've never parked at the Vet. I'd Uber down or whatever. But, if it like South Carolina State, I've been to that stadium. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, right when I went to the spring game, pretty much everybody was parking on the grass right in front of Dawson Stadium and right in that back end. That at the end of the day, you should have a it should be something to identify that you're allowed to park inside, closer to the stadium or have sections with colors. So your parking pass matches your color, stuff like that.
They do this. They'll do this the damn day before the game. I'm a state club holder, top holder, and the day of the game day, you're arguing about a parking pass that you should have got 2 months ago. You're literally, and the comments here, well, we all volunteers. My job, quit. Shit, you horrible. I mean, it's foolishness. And it's like, here we are, all the momentum, and we're still going back to the same archaic stuff again, and we hadn't even started the season. So when I heard the things that Coach Sanders was saying, trust me, it's like this in the MEAC too. So it's like we married to mediocrity.
Whew. Man, this is good. This is good. Hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much, Chris. Man, this is good. All right, Larry, coming to you. Then Mr. Campbell, you last. If somebody calls in before you, I'm gonna answer before, but there's 3 other calls before you. I'm gonna go Sergeant 7909-9137. Then I'm gonna get to Mr. Campbell. Let me see.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much, brother. This is your brother Sergeant from Sanford, Florida. First of all, I've been, listening to reading the comments. Facts at KJ. I just want to say that financial aid problem is a monster and a ghost and a demon that's been haunting HBCUs for a long time. My father went to Payne College. Financial aid was a problem for him. That's the 60s. It was a problem for me. That's the 90s. If financial aid is still a problem, at 2 different colleges, he's at Payne, I'm at FAMU. If financial aid is still a problem in HBCUs, we got to get some better business practices. That's a quote from Deion Sanders, and institutional control. So let me take you to 97. I hate going back to the past. Scotty, it just hurts me. In 97, you got into trouble in the financial aid office. We got in trouble in our banking office, and 2 people went to jail.
Woo!
Now, I hope things have gotten better. Yeah, they went to jail. I mean, full picture, handcuffs, taking them away. That was like it's front page Tallahassee Democrat. They couldn't wait to put that picture out there. By the way, white on newspaper. Hey, there you go. But what I'm trying to say is this. Some of this, and I don't want to get too deep, is institutional and organizational. So you have people who are very vested in things staying exactly the same as they are, as they were, and as they used to be. It's financial, has to be financial, because you could only want to keep things the way they are if you're getting paid, right? If there's some money. In fact, they're kind of one of those, they don't even have the greed of the king in the story about the goose and the golden egg, right? They're not trying to do anything to get more money. They're like, hey, I got my money stream, coming on. I'm good to go. But the thing that really hurts me about HBCUs and now the SWAC that we're in the SWAC is we don't try to do anything better. Like we don't try to do anything extra. We don't try to put icing and ice cream on top of that cake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the SWAC conference media day could have been way better, just way better. It could have been just so awesome. And I love all the comments that people were making the last time I called. So I'll just end it this way. Just like the military, people at the entry level, privates, and people at the general are the people who are the most receptive to change. But everybody in the middle, captains, lieutenants, corporals, sergeants, they want to keep things the same because they're invested in the organization staying exactly the way it is, because they believe their success is tied to things staying like they are. But the truth is, all of our colleges and all of our conferences need to change because that's where the money is, and we need to shake off this complacency. Again, props to KJ. Financial aid is a beast and a ghost and a demon. We love you, Scotty. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Appreciate it, Sergeant, man. Appreciate it. Hey, David, sorry, man. I got to get with my girl, KJ. She's a member, so I got to take her call. What's up, KJ? Talk to me. KJ, you live. KJ, how you going? 7264, you live. All right, got to call back. Anyway, let me see. Going back to David. What's up, D? You live? Talk to me.
What's up, man? How's things?
What's good? I'm chilling, man. Out here doing it.
Let me tell you something, man. Deion is like, either they got to pack their bags or I'm going to pack mine.
Got you.
That's what I got out of that. And the financial aid situation, I am happy Deion called that out. I guess he recently just called that out today.
Yeah.
About the financial aid situation. It's been a thing at HBCUs, folks getting their financial aid delayed and all that. And folks are complacent when it comes to that, and that's not okay. Especially when most of the students live on campus. So it's like, that's something they got to resolve.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But like, the bottom line is, man, like, I think Deion's trying to create this path for HBCUs, and it doesn't seem like some of us want to go. And I think there's going to come a point where Deion's going to say enough's enough and walk out of there, which is going to be unfortunate because he pushed so much momentum towards building the HBCU brand, particularly with football. So I think if folks aren't willing to change, he's going to walk out of there, bro.
Yeah, you get frustrated. Listen, it's no different than in a relationship. Let's be real. It's no different in a relationship. If you dating a girl or a girl dating you, and the girl keep telling you, "Hey, why don't you take me out? Hey, why don't you take me out? Hey, why don't you take me out?" And then when she fed up and she leave you, be like, "Damn, all I had to do was take her out." You know, like it's going to be the same thing with Deion. And I'm not saying Jackson State fans don't want to comply, but there's a lot more. The people that can actually make the decisions are really the pushback that Deion gets. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you have some alumni that are all for Deion. You have some alumni that aren't for Deion. You have administration that rocks with Deion. Then you probably have administration that make a lot of decisions that don't rock with Deion. But sooner or later, somebody has to get on the same page and move this thing forward. Listen, being progressive or being a change is never easy. Being the first to do something is never easy. And it's hard, but when you have listen, and people are going to be like, but when you're on the shoulders of Deion, he can take a lot of those bullets that you don't want to listen. If anybody has ever seen a press conference when the mayor of a city is doing something and something happens with the police, what does he say? Hey, please address all those questions to my police chief. And he steps out the way and he lets the police chief take all the bullets. It's no different at Jackson State. If the president doesn't like what Deion's doing and something goes awry, you have a press conference. Please direct all questions to Deion Sanders. And you step outside and you let Deion Sanders take them bullets.
It's simple. It's simple. And I think he wants to take it. I think he's willing to take them.
All of them.
And nobody, and they don't see that. Like, I think they're too worried about it. But it also comes down to the donors too, right? Like, when you start thinking about the donor base, the bigger donors are going to have pull. And if the bigger donors don't want to change, then the school's not going to want to change.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like, people think A&T made those decisions to move to the different conferences off the strength of the AD and the chancellor. No, they talked to the donors before they made that decision. So I think that could be a factor too, but I think Deion's going to push as far as he can, and then it's going to be a point where he's just going to walk away from
Absolutely. Hey, appreciate the call, my boy.
Yep, no doubt.
Hey, let me listen, bro. You are sniffing coke. You're sniffing crack. If you don't think Nick Saban runs that administration and what he wants to do for his program. But see, the thing about it is Nick Saban is not fighting a culture battle. See, that's where you're getting this thing confused. Nick Saban is worried about Alabama. Nick Saban doesn't have to worry about the SEC because the SEC is ran smoothly. It's a conglomerate. It's ran well. It's a railed oil machine. You have Deion Sanders not just worried about Jackson, not just worried about his own students and his own kids. He also has to worry about the black culture because of how bad it's ran collectively. So real like that, you can real like shut the hell up because you don't know what you're talking about. Continuing on, 9137. Hey, you live.
What's going on, Script Bayless? It's your boy Monty from Michigan.
What's up, Monty? Talk to me.
Hey, man. you and Coach Sanders have been the best two things that happened to HBCU football in a long time, because both of you are on two different sides of the ball. It's been calling the same thing. I swear you just did a show about tradition, and what did Deion do at the press conference? He was talking about the same thing, calling out these different traditions that really don't make any sense. And, it took someone like a Deion Sanders, who's really not scared of the powers that be, that's been, in HBCU football for a long time, just stubborn, not wanting to make the changes that just make, economical sense. And, and they've been scared because his voice is so big.
Yeah.
And it's starting to make some things happen. But you also got to give credit to the AD, because I don't know what the hell he went through to probably even get them to even hire Deion Sanders, because, we've had other professional athletes want to come back and coach, and outside of Doug Williams, we haven't really had a lot of former NFL players come in, because a lot of those guys been squeezing them out.
It's crazy. It's great. I just wish we had an overall better understanding of like what me and because people see us as adversaries, but yes, in certain aspects, I don't agree with something Deion does, and he doesn't agree with how I get down. But at the basis of what me and Deion are both preaching is simple innovation. Like, you have to find a way to innovate. And this is my thing. I'm always going to go back to the SWAC office, right? The SWAC office wants to control a lot of what these schools do when it comes to the television rights, the games, and all this blah, blah, blah crap. Well, how about you make them schools give up content? How about you challenge each one of your institutions to challenge to make you content to send to your digital network? You want to control everything else. You want to control TV rights and TV media deals and everything like that. How about you, commissioner, hold these institutions accountable, hold the presidents accountable, and say, listen, man, we're trying to build a brand here. I need you, Bamas, to send me content. I don't give a damn if it's a teacher looking over a kid's shoulder, telling him how pretty he is. I need some damn content. Send it to me. That's it, man. I don't get it, man.
Well, one of the things that you've exposed, and even what Deion's been exposing, is, this commissioner has not really done a good job in making the right decisions, for the schools of really, growing the conference. And like I said, it was by accident, because I think a lot of the coaches from a lot of the other schools, because I watched that weekly SWAC press conference, a lot of those guys, they was hoping that Jackson fell and didn't have the success. And fortunately, they did have a successful season. And as long as you're winning, then you can keep talking. But had he went, 2-3 games, then he would have been able to be shut down. So I'm thankful that Jackson State had a successful season just for him to be able to challenge a lot of those things that didn't make any sense. I mean, I was surprised when he wanted the names on the back of the jerseys, like the way all of the schools have, that got done as quick as it did, because my school still ain't got them. So I ain't gonna even mention that, know. And you sit there and you ask these questions like, man, why don't we have that? I mean, look how many jerseys that the school could sell.
Absolutely.
Certain names being on the back.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, but I'm about to go into that. Appreciate the call. Listen, I'm gonna take a caller, and Mr. Campbell, I'm gonna bring you up, and I want you to talk about this, what I'm about to bring up next. All right. 0103. I'm coming to you. 0103. Hey, caller, you live.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's goody?
All right, man. I wanted to so I went to Jackson State from 2014 to 2018. So I know a lot about what Deion is now talking about, as far as like, the financial aid being crappy and us getting the money super late. But I think it's so much deeper than that. Like, I don't know if you remember Dr. Carolyn Myers.
I don't remember
heard
her,
that name?
but I definitely have heard of her name. I heard she was like skimming money or something like that.
Yeah, she we went down. I think under her administration we lost what, $30 million or something like that.
$30 million.
Yes. So this problem with like just, you know, we're just now being able to climb out of the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like all these years later, and I know we probably have climbed out of it now since Deion, you know what I'm saying, they came and we, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. But it's one of those things where this thing runs really, really deep. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these problems that we're talking about was way before Deion even came, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's fighting a huge battle, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy how the same person that you hire to get you out of something is the same person that is an irritant to you because he's making you, you know what I'm saying, become something that you need to become, but that you're not ready to become.
Wow.
That you're not trying to become.
That's real.
You're, you know what I'm saying? Because you're too busy putting, you know what I'm saying, you're too busy, you know, under the table money. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine like how much stuff was going on where like just under the table deals. Like just imagine like a contractor gets some money or whatever because they're for a build out that was over, you know what I'm saying, overly paid or something. A lot of times they're overpaid because of what? They overly paid because somebody's getting some money under the table. You know, I was DJing at Jackson State. I was actually the first student to actually get paid as a vendor from Jackson State, and I had to like go through a lot just to get paid. Like we had to do paperwork, all types of stuff just to get paid. And what I started seeing was that a lot of vendors were being overpaid because people were getting paid under the table and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff with that, man. But yeah, Scotty, I don't want to talk too much, man. I just wanted to, you know, give you that because, you know, yeah.
I think somebody know you. I think somebody know you. They said this Trey. They say Trey. This new Trey.
Yeah, this me. Yeah, home team Trey for sure.
Yes.
Like I'm Scotty. We gotta talk, man. But I'm really like from that era. I'm one of the ones, man. Like I did a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot when it comes to like, you know, maybe I may not know so much at the top, but I know what was going on I know what was going on a lot of levels, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm tied into a lot of different people in there. So, you know, we can definitely talk about some stuff.
Hey, too easy. I just took your number down. I'm gonna text you after the show.
All right, for sure, man. Keep
All right, man.
going,
You too, bro. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Campbell, coming to you. Oh. All right, Mr. Campbell, what's good?
Hey man, I love this show, but I'm sorry. I got to put my HBCU old man hat on because some of this shit y'all talking about is driving me crazy. Not you, but some of y'all. Okay, I got to do all this fact checking, first of all. The financial aid thing, and I'm going to say this, and this is real short. FAMU got 9,600 students. 9,500 on financial aid with 8 people or 10 people working in there. That's every HBCU. Stop acting and measuring stuff when you only got people that are 8, 9, 10 people that are working in financial aid, servicing thousands of kids, not hundreds, thousands. So I told you guys over 85% of HBCU students are on financial aid. So it's never going to be smooth when we get underfunded. So it's not going to be like Florida State or Alabama when 15% of the students are on financial aid. So just please, y'all, stop that. So it's not right. I get it. But again, this has a lot to do with financing. Now, the next thing about Jackson State. Okay, they charge for parking. You can get parking passes. They have tailgate passes. Now, for somebody, and I'm going to talk about Prime, I guess he wants to say, let's fence all around the vet. They don't do that at the Falcon Stadium. They don't do that in any SEC stadium. That's not going to happen. So you talking about people not coming in, not doing it, that's not where the money's at. So they just need to stop that because I have been to every SEC stadium Georgia by none is the worst. If you don't leave, basically, if Georgia playing at 3:30, you better have left your house at 5 in the morning, or you'll be stuck on that little 2-lane highway going to Athens. And if you go into Athens, it is the worst place ever to even get to the stadium. So stop acting like all these white schools are so easy to get to, because I have been to every SEC stadium. And there's only 2 that are easy to get to. That's University of Florida, and LSU is not as bad, depending on when they play. But the rest of that shit is utter hell to get there. So I want y'all to stop that. So just please, for the life of Jesus. I mean, we could criticize. So let me say this. I am an HBCU person. I am a traditionalist. I understand the traditions. I have no problem. That's why I love Scotty's show. I have no problem with people criticizing. What I have a problem is if you're one of these people, you look at FAMU and y'all say, oh, FAMU ain't shit. Florida State do it better. And you don't even ask me why FAMU is having the problems. That's what HBCU alums have. If you're coming from the outside and you don't have any perspective of what the issue is, and you're just being a person that's being a critic and not being a problem solver. I don't like critics. I like problem solvers. What Scotty talks about is solving problems. He's not just being a critic. And if he is being a critic, I can understand it, and it's thought-provoking. Now, I get on his ass, too, when he just goes down that lane, because that's not what we're about. So that's why I think for all of you all that say, oh, people from the outside. No, I love all of y'all. I want everybody to support it. But if you're coming in there and just saying I'm ugly just for the sake of I'm ugly, and you don't know why, because I've been beat up, I'm dirty, and I'm trying to scrap and scrape just to get even. No, I'm not going for that. And I'm not going to allow that to go for that. So my problem is, now, please stop comparing tradition with being mediocre. Tradition is JSU playing Get Ready. Tradition is the FAMU marching. Tradition is the J-Sets going up the ramp. Being mediocre is what Deion is talking about when you got 10 gates and only 2 gates are in to get into the stadium. That is ridiculous. When you've got vending places, concession stands that are not open. So Deion needs to go talk to his AD and his logistical manager and say, why do we only have 2 gates open? See, that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. That's what the problem is. It's because the logistics are not being handled properly. So when Deion says, I've seen at the highest level, hell yeah, he's seen at the highest level. He's seen Cowboy Stadium, even Florida State, and things like that. So those criticisms are really, he needs to take that to his AD, because that's where the problem is at. Because I grew up going to that stadium, and I went to Jackson State football this year. I was like, why in the hell is only 2 gates open? We didn't have that problem. It was gates all around it where you could walk in. That's the thing. That's a Deion problem. And when I say Deion problem, he needs to deal with his AD on that, because that ain't just everybody and stuff. So that just bothers me when I hear people just criticizing, hating, or whatever. So again, because we have issues, but stop acting like these white folks don't have the same issues, because they do. So my thing is, Scotty, what I like about what you do is you put it out there. So you laid out what Deion said, and everything Deion said, and this is why I don't understand why people get mad about you, Deion, anybody else, because it's true. A lot of these criticisms, because you know what happened with the SWAC? Because nobody was paying attention to the SWAC. Deion comes, and I love that Deion came. And now people are paying attention. But you know what now? You find out just them dirty drawers that I had in the corner, people can see them now. Instead of putting them in the clothes hamper and washing them. So you can't be mad at that. So what you should have done is put your dirty drawers in the hamper like your mama told you. Now you get mad when people say, man, why your drawers out there hanging out? That's the problem. So my thing is, we cannot be mad when we're sitting back and having people, the same thing, all these different things, financial aid, the game experience, all this. Yes, all of this can be better. It should be better. But do not mad when you get, because this is attention that we all said we wanted, right?
Facts.
McClellan said, he said, I got 219 people. So do not get mad, because all attention is not going to come with a pat on your fucking back. Someone's going to come with a foot in your ass. And sometimes you need a foot in your ass. Sometimes the best thing of people giving me attention is putting a foot in my ass to get me right. You don't need a pat in the back all the time. So this is the thing that I wish we would all sit back and don't be just critics, be problem solvers. So if you're somebody, and I'm going to say this too, and I'm pointing this out to Dre. So Dre, let me tell you something. Fam, you had an AD that didn't go to HBCU. Tennessee State has an AD that didn't go to HBCU. It's a lot of HBCUs that have had ADs that didn't go to HBCU. Grambling had 2 of them. Because hell, I knew one of them. He was from Dayton, Ohio. He didn't know nothing about HBCUs. So HBCUs have hired people from outside. They've hired presidents from outside. Our female president, I can't remember her name. She came from a PWI. So we have done that, been there, done that. But the best thing is we have got to get people that really care about the schools and want to be there and be the best at that job. Now, I want to point out something about Dooley, and somebody saying, well, why does he leave? Bro, some people are really comfortable where they're at. Some people love where they're at. And a lot of these guys who are HBCU lifers that came up in this culture, they understand how important their job is. They understand. Dooley understands how important it is for him to be down at Southern compared to him being somewhere else. He doesn't need to prove himself to who? Y'all? He got a beautiful family. I know his daughter. His daughter is like my baby. She is a great girl. He got other kids. He might be comfortable doing that, brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't criticize that man for that. He might want to be part of that. It's certain things that I do because I love doing it. I mentor Black young men because I love doing that. They can say, Mr. Gale, well, you go mentor. No, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to mentor Scotty because that's who I care about. Because he's a young Black man that reminds me of me, that had a big mouth but was super smart. Sometimes you got to learn how to shut the fuck up. And that's what he's doing every day. And that's why I'm proud of him. So no, you don't have to go somewhere to be somewhere else. You know, for other people, yeah, that might be fine, but that ain't everybody's path. Everybody has different paths. Everybody has different things that they have to do. And a lot of these coaches understand how important they are to the HBCU community because they know if I don't do it, who else is going to do it sometimes? And that's the truth. Even Deion is finding that out. Deion has got there, and you know what, Deion did not realize how hard it was to coach because being a coach is not X's and O's. Being a coach is being an administrator, being a father, being a financial aid officer, finding haircuts, all of these different things that actually Eddie Robinson did back in the day. See, that's what's interesting about that. These are struggles we've had for a long time. Deion has done nothing more than what Eddie Robinson did. Eddie Robinson did all those things because he wanted Grambling to be great. Deion wants Jackson State to be great. So I'm proud that he is taking that because his shoulders are broad. He has big shoulders. God has blessed him with that. So he is able to say the things that he's saying. He is able to put out the money that he's able to put out. But again, to your point, we all got to support that. We all got to back that up. Because if those show, because sometimes you get tired. Sometimes that cross, everybody can't carry. And Deion should not have to carry the cross for the SWAC. He should not. Everybody should be helping carry. Because my thing is, and I just want the SWAC and anybody else, what would you rather be? I would rather be North Dakota State winning national championships and having this level of gravitas than being some last bottom school in some group of 5 conference when nobody cares about you. Sometimes it's good being a big fish in a little pond. Why you think North Dakota State ain't jumped up? Because they know being a big fish in a little pond makes you a lot of money sometimes. And you get to eat when you're ready to eat. So watch what you ask for. Watch what you wish for. So when people say Jackson State Jackson State don't need to go anywhere. They need, all of those schools need to build a SWAC up and become North Dakota States on a conference level of excellence. That's what they need to do. And that's what I'm hoping that Deion pushes them to do, is let's have an excellent football conference. Because, Scott, how many times have you heard this? All us old here, man, I remember seeing Jerry Rice. I remember seeing Walter Payton. I remember seeing this guy and that guy and all these Hall of Famers, right? Yeah. Because we had the best football players. So let's get back to that. That's an achievable goal because these kids are finally looking at what we have. So let's get back to that. So that's what I really want and hope. So, man, this is a great show. I love what you're doing. But for all of y'all just coming up here saying people don't care and all this stuff, that's not true.
Hey,
people do care.
Before I let you go, are you able to watch? Are you watching me at the same time you talking to me?
Yeah. I got you on mute, but I can see you.
Okay, cool. It's Blue sent me this earlier today. NIL news: Alabama is unveiling a first of its kind store in Bryant-Denning Stadium featuring an NIL activation area and a co-branded NIL merchandise. So I'm not going to say what this is or what this is not, but I do believe that they are, like, the students and the school and the NIL thing is all partnering together. I'm not saying
they're going to probably have their jerseys there.
Okay. So I knew I wouldn't. This is what I've been trying to preach this, and this isn't even on an NIL type of deal. It's just the mere fact that I'm not saying it has to be Alabama, but what I'm telling you is these schools in the SEC have to figure out another stream of revenue. And I'll tell you this, if there was a spot on the campus of Vet Memorial, if there was a spot on Alabama A&M's campus, if there was a spot on Southern's campus, other than the bookstore, where you can walk in, or if it is at the bookstore, it can be at the stadium, whatever, however you want to do it. You can walk in and buy football paraphernalia for the team other than them whack-ass shirt jerseys. You would make a lot of money. And the kids could make a lot of money. And now you have another avenue, because if I'm a Keel Glass and I can tell, or the next former quarterback behind me, hey man, you do it here. You get big here. I've been making $2,000 a month just off my jersey sales. So you
listen. Go ahead. No,
that was it. That was it. You good? Go ahead. That was it.
So this is what's brilliant about this. So let me tell you what's funny. And I'm not gonna get them super credit, because all they did was basically think about, you've been to a Power 5 campus, right?
Yeah.
And they have the bookstores and stuff and everything. And they have the jerseys in the bookstores, right?
Facts.
They have the star player and they have the jerseys in the bookstore. All they're doing is saying, you know what? We got 90,000 people right here on campus. Let's bring the bookstore, all the stuff we're saying right here on campus. See, to me, that's where being brilliant is. You don't have to recreate the wheel, right?
Facts.
You just might have to move the wheel 50 feet. And that's what they did. So now with NIL, so you got those guys, the quarterbacks, running back, Will Anderson, Bryce Young, and all those guys, we're going to have the jerseys right there. And now, instead of Bryce Young getting screwed and Will Anderson getting screwed like Deion did with his number 2 jersey, they used to be all over Tallahassee, he's going to be able to get a check. And this is the thing where I keep saying, Greg Sankey said this, and this is why I remember I told you this. He said, if y'all want to learn how to make money, you need to call me. He said that. You need to call me. See, what I don't understand about McClellan, that we're in the SEC footprint. We should copy every damn thing the SEC does. To the T. Everything. How they market, how they promote, what they do. Why don't we do that? We don't have to be that smart. Just copy their shit. How hard is that? That's the thing that bothers me. You don't have to recreate the wheel. So just like what you just said. So because again, what did I send you? Remember we talked about the CLC license, right? If I'm McClellan, I'm calling all the ADs. And let's just start simple. So of course, they're gonna have this nice fancy thing in Alabama. Bro, how about y'all just have a goddamn truck out there with the jerseys?
Yo, you don't even gotta do
You know what I'm saying?
I seen people listen, HBCU fans will buy in. I'm at the Magic City Classic. There's just little pop-up booths everywhere that people are buying merch and gear from. So even if you don't have the money to do something big like that, you could literally just have a pop-up booth and and collect the funds there till you can find, just to see the, like you would say, like a trial and error situation. Will people buy it? Will people not buy it? You know what I'm saying? How will this all work out, or where are we going to set up, or anything like that? Because at the end of the day, you cannot tell. All I see is Bama's buying merch. That's all I see. But the fact that you're not selling. Go ahead.
That's what drives that. So it was just like me. I told everybody this. I watched, and I'm going to use Shiloh. The way Shiloh moves, should do it to Hollywood. I mean, and that's cool. But Shiloh acts like a brother from Jackson.
Facts.
He's down with them kids. He's down. Shiloh could stay in Jackson and be a millionaire, because it's just like a thing about him. He's a little bit just more down there. That's where Jackson people are. I saw so many people saying, I want that 21 Shiloh jersey. Not even Shadua. I'm talking about that 21. And I'm like, why y'all don't have this ready? Why y'all don't have this ready to go? These are things that are obvious. Now, this is where Deion is talking about being mediocre. See, that's being mediocre. Because you have to be forward thinking to know that the 21 and Sanders, right? It's like a double meaning.
Money maker.
Because Deion won 21 Pro and his son is wearing 21. So you could get the 21, even though it's for Shiloh. Guess what most of them old heads gonna wear? Man, this Deion jersey.
Deion jersey.
The Deion jersey. The Deion jersey. It's just a Jack Day Deion jersey. And if they want to believe that shit, okay, fine. And that's the thing. You should have all those things laid out. Because to me, you can have those guys. And then you know what would be cool, which the SEC does? Then you bring the old heads, like Robert Brazile and all that, and have them sign goddamn autographs and let them make a few pennies.
Yeah.
You can have those guys sitting out there every game, signing autographs and all that stuff. And then you've got a fan experience where now you are making your kids money. And I've always said that this is just, again, but like I told you, I have been there and I have went to these schools and say, hey, I can make you $100,000. And I have laid it out. And the first thing they said, well, you can sponsor a table at the alumni homecoming dance. Well, I've shown them where we can make $100,000. So these are the challenges that I want to see. So again, what you just showed, what Blue just showed, this, because guess what? Blue, I get what? Blue, and you know this. This time next week, Florida gonna have theirs. Georgia gonna have theirs. Texas A&M gonna have theirs, and they're gonna keep trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have theirs, and the swag is gonna sit back, and we're gonna go this time next year wondering why we can't get a Nugget jersey or a Shadua jersey, and they getting paid from it. Because let's not say they can get the jersey, but I'm talking about because the whole point of this is for those kids to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not miss that point. It ain't about selling the jerseys. Alabama's like, we got to keep putting money in their pocket, because what did Nick Saban say? We got to make more money.
Yeah.
For these kids.
And you got to do it in a way that, because you know, not every kid is going to be a household name. You know what I'm saying? Like, every kid is not going to be marketable outside of Alabama. So if I have, you know, some people just like backup players. Some people just have a special player. Like, I like this kid, or I want to get a thing of this kid. Well, it's easy. I can just go in the bookstore and directly order it, or however you got to do it. But to me, the fact that like these HBCUs are not capitalizing on it's the legacy for me. How you keep bringing up all the Hall of Famers you have, but you're not capitalizing on their likeness. You're not. It doesn't make sense. There should, like somebody said, there should be a Walter Payton jersey. There should be a Jimmy Smith jersey. There should be these jerseys readily accessible for people to buy. It doesn't make sense.
And let me make a point, because you just made, and I saw something in the chat. Well, somebody said, well, you can get it online, stuff like that. The best buy for any business is an impulse buy, when you got the customer right there. Because if somebody, when I'm selling hair and they touch my hair, I want to sell them that hair. I don't want them to go back and think about it, right? I want them to get it right then and there. So you think about all these Jackson State folks, they all hyped up, get ready. Yeah, we just won, whatever. They're going to spend more money. But when they leave their ass off that campus, out the vet, then they're like, man, I don't know if I want to spend $75 on that jersey, dog.
Facts.
I got to pay them bills next
Facts.
week. But if I'm catching your ass when you done had 2 Hennessy's and you've been out there and you've been saying, I'm so glad I went to JSU, well, I'm getting that $75 out you, bro.
No, that's real. Let me tell you, because when I went to the Cowboys Stadium, I was like, damn, I ain't got no jersey. I walked my happy ass right down to the Dallas Cowboys store, bought me a $90 Dak Prescott jersey just to be like, yo, I got me a jersey. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. That's
I'm ready, boy.
I'm ready.
I got my Dak on, my fresh Dak.
You know what I'm saying? It was all white.
That is all marketing 101.
Yeah.
That is the pressure that your subliminally your mind does to you, because you're part of the euphoria of the excitement of it.
Yeah.
That's why the impulse sale is so important. And guess what? Most motherfuckers overcharge you on that too, because they know they're getting you impulse. So they're going to even make more money.
Yeah.
See, these are the things that are common sense marketing 101. So this is where now, as alums, that we get understand. We got all these business schools, and we're like, why y'all not applying this shit over here at the football stadium? That's where the frustration at FAMU comes in. We got the best business school in the nation. And then we look over our stadium, we're like, oh, we ain't making no money. What? That makes no sense. So yeah, so now you know, so to your point, yeah, you gotta have it right there. And my thing is, again, if you give the great experience where people can get it, people are gonna buy more of it. And what you can do also, you can make it exclusive. You can only get the Nugget red jersey at the game. Only.
That is legit, Mr. Campbell. That's nasty. That's a damn good idea. That's a damn good idea.
You see? And then you could have, and like I said, you could have so many that are signed. Hey, the first 100, these are the signed ones. Because you want to create a market for that. And you want to get to Deion's point. This is how you get people inside. Man, I got to get, man, because I got to get that Nugget jersey. I got to get my nephew's jersey.
You got to have a ticket to the game. Yeah, you got to have a ticket to buy the jersey.
Got to have a ticket to buy the jersey.
Yeah.
We got to have a ticket. We're only limited to 2 per person.
Yeah.
Because we're going to force you to come in this game. We're going to make you come in here. So this is the thing about it. You got to give people reason why to do it. Because that's what the Falcons used to be. Man, you have more people outside tailgating and partying than going into the damn Falcons games. That's the way it used to be all the time until Michael Vick came. That was the only time black folks actually went inside the stadium. When Michael Vick was there.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do for the Capital Classic? I would tell Alcorn to bring their booth. I would tell Jackson State to have their booth ready. I would say we're selling 100 Steve McNair jerseys. We're selling 100 Walter Payton jerseys. And for and first come, first serve, but you have to have a ticket to be a part of the like I like just to make it epic, like just to make it that much more epic to the game of we're selling these jerseys for that game, in that history or whatever, something like that. I would do something like that. But but the thing about it, I just feel like you're not capitalizing, and that's the complacency. You're not capitalizing on things that's just stuff in your back pocket. And Mr. Campbell, you can always bring that back up. Why? Because there's always going to be another star player. You can do that.
Always.
You're going to do Nugget. You can do Nugget this year. You could do Travis Hunter the next. Like, there's always going to be a star player. And if I'm Deion and JSU and Travis Hunter, we don't know when we might ever get a 5-star player from high school again. So now we definitely pushing that dude's jersey because we trying to get as much money. Come on, man.
So let me get, since we on great ideas. This is the thing why I don't understand about Jackson State. And I'm not saying they don't do, because I haven't seen it, but Nugget's my nephew, so I talk to him all the time. This is why I don't understand. The University of North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they went to the national championship game, you know what they got? They called that starting five the Iron Five. You know what them white people in North Carolina did? Hey, man, we about to take y'all on alumni tour so y'all can make money. Why does JSU not have Travis Hunter, Aubrey Miller, Shadur, Shiloh, the 5 top players, right?
Yeah.
And doing an autograph signing so them boys can get paid? Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that every pep rally for the alumni?
Yeah.
To take a picture with them.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, I saw Chris Brown was charging his fans $1,000 just to take a picture with him.
Oh, I saw them girls. Yeah. I saw that.
$1,000. So you gonna tell me that people ain't gonna pay $10, $20 to take a picture with Shadur? Shadur probably make $1,000. He probably get tired of standing up.
Easy. Tyler smiling.
Deion could do the same. Deion could charge $1,000 and he would get at least 10 people to pay $1,000 just to take a picture with him.
Easy.
And that's all he would need. He'd make $10,000 and he could say, I'm donating this to the school. I'm telling you, that's how big a fan that Deion has, that somebody would pay $1,000. If Deion would go, and this is where people are, and Deion say, hey, this is Deion Sanders, this is Steve Campbell, this is my boy, JSU all the way. Oh my God, Deion said my name, and I'm gonna keep that video forever. You got people that will pay $200, $300, $1,000, $400 for that. These are things we got to think about and be innovative, because this is what the other people are doing. And that's my thing. That's all I want to say.
Tyra Lynn said,
man.
Tyra Lynn said Virginia Tech does that for the alumni hockey club, paying thousands to meet those athletes and take pictures. So it ain't, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This ain't, and I'm not saying that I'm some brilliant person, because clearly I've seen this somewhere.
Yeah.
That's why I just said North Carolina's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, all we got to do is just copy and paste. Copy and paste. Hell, that's what all y'all do anyway. Y'all don't look up shit anymore anyway. Copy and paste, man. And let's build this thing, because to the point where we can all make money, because the money is out there. That's the thing about it. The money is out there. But if we're not being smart, we're being mediocre. And like I said, and we're not leaning into traditions. That's what we should be doing. Leaning into those traditions. Because the SEC, one thing, they're not going to give up tradition. They're never going to give that up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to expand on tradition. There's a difference. Because like I told you, Tennessee and Alabama will always play on the third Saturday in October, no matter what. See, if you're not an SEC guy, you don't know that they do that all the time. Alabama and Tennessee, like, we're not changing this game. This is always going to be on third Saturday in October. That's tradition. That's how they make money. They sell that. Georgia, Florida, and Jacksonville, that's tradition. They sell that. So we got to do the same. So, hey, man, great show, man. And like I say, keep putting it out there. And like I say, those that don't like what you got to say, and you know me, I don't use bad language too often. F them. Do your thing.
No problem, Mr. Campbell. Appreciate the call. Listen, man. You don't stop a man when he's in a funky groove. I don't know if anybody's seen the breakup, but I love me some Vince Vaughn, and you don't stop a man when he's in a funky groove. Okay, listen, listen, guys, and it goes back to you alumni and all this type of stuff. There's just too much opportunity out here. It's just too much money to be made. Where black people are not broke. Just the schools. That is so backwards to me, right? You got people like Ken Clark. He goes to every game. He flies. He from Cali. I'm like, bro, like I'm going to games. I'm like, why do I see him at every game? Every game? He at the Swag Championship. He at the Celebration Bowl. He at the Soul Bowl. He at the Southern Heritage. He at the OBC. I'm like, bro, from California, you got to be making some money. So black people ain't broke. It's just the schools. So help me make sense how we cannot capitalize on our own dollar. We do not, I don't understand it. We will pay so much money to look a certain way, to make people think we got it. But you can't figure out a way to get the black dollar to your school, like through sports. Listen, man, I don't get, and I'm gonna keep banging on all these schools. Like, how you don't have an Amisha Williams jersey from Jackson State, I don't understand it. How you don't have any of those girls' jerseys from the starting five or the Final Four. I would have been auctioning off the Final Four jerseys. Or had whoever, Under Armour, whoever makes it, I'm going to tell Deion to tell Under Armour to make me 10 jerseys each for those starting five for the Final Four girls, and we selling them. They signing them, and we selling them. Like, what are we doing? Come on, man. What are we doing? Zay Green, UAPB. I'll buy her jersey. What are we doing? Come on, man. Like, man, stop. I'm sick and tired of this, man. It's like, and y'all just sit back and worry is me. Oh, I've been working on the railroad. I's likes what we got going around here, boss. I's don't want no trouble, boss. I's don't want no trouble. We's good going around. We's all right. Don't make no ideas. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, it's just too easy. It's being innovative. It's being creative. It's thinking outside the box. All right, but that's my time, man. I'm not about to keep y'all here no longer. Hey, make sure you tune in tonight for the Afterglow show, 8 o'clock. You already know what it is, what time it is. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you get, is that an SU? That is an SU towel. It is an SU towel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all didn't see my, I don't know if y'all see my shirt. I got an Induly I Trust shirt. I don't know if y'all seen that, but I have an Induly I Trust shirt. So, you know, all you Southern fans out there, you know what I'm saying? I like to do something different. But yeah, so definitely do that. What else I want to say before I go? Nothing else. That's it. Hey, listen, at any time, at any place, and anywhere, you know you can always
unfollow me. If I make you feel some type of way, unfollow me. If low key you just hit a hey,
you can leave. All right, you can always. I don't listen, man. I don't force nobody to watch me. Okay, I never have to or never will. So until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.